getting everything ready, right? Voila. Nice, that's good to hear. All right. There's a lot of people here. I'll stop talking. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jason. How are you? Hello, everyone. Somebody stopped watching a porn channel to watch this. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm getting all these texts and stuff. Listen. I'm here to... Hello, everyone. I'm here to answer all of your questions about modes. So, because I know about them. So I figured let's, the world is getting hot, man. Or this place is getting hot. Some of you might get that reference. And the idea is, it doesn't have to be. We're all cooped up, we're all stir crazy, and if I can do anything to help relieve the stress of your day, then let me do it. All right, I'm gonna drink out of my StichMethod mug. All right, so here we go. All right, okay. So the first question is that I'm going to address is from Jason. Hello everyone, okay, for about modes. Thinking of scale shapes as reference to modes, love it or hate it? Okay, it's a great question. What he's referring to is that, do you learn the modes by those shapes that everybody shows you, the guitar teachers show you, this is the Dorian shape, this is the Ionian shape, this is this shape. I call BS on learning it like that, because that locks you into an E string mindset. That locks you into finding the notes on the E string. And then it's hard to see the fact that that is... we'll get there, Dave. That is just a major scale you're looking at. Modes are just a major scale. Now, in case any of you haven't seen it, I do have a video called Truly Understanding Modes. As a matter of fact, my video next week will be addressing modes, okay? And the idea is, thank you, Jason, you don't want to learn them as individual scale shapes. It's going to really, like, de-navigate you. You're going to get stuck. Now, with that being said, I just made a video about Trey for Reba, and he really sits in this one like scale shape that really gives him like a Trey utilitarian like sound, but he moves around, right? And so the Coven mode, I like it. All right, so I'm gonna get right to another question. Second, about parallel modes versus the other idea. That's the question I was waiting for. Don't wait till next week. If I don't get to your question now, then wait till next week. By the way, I forgot to do something. It's okay. Let's get to it. Whatever. All right. So parallel modes versus the other one. All right. Here is the great divide in modes. You have to understand something. There's two types of modes. Sure, I can send you a roll of toilet paper. There's two types of modes. One called relative modes, and the other one called parallel modes. Now, if you didn't know that, now is the time you want to listen up. Again, the video that I launched many years ago called Truly Understanding Modes will help out with this explanation. Relative modes are what chord out of your number chord sequence, out of your harmonized major scale, and I'll talk about this, did you start on? So, I'm going to show you how this is done. There's no magic involved here. Somebody just name a key. I will sit here. This is the first one I'm going to see. I'm just going to name a key. Oh, this is going to show you that. Okay, G. Came up. Matthew. Good. God, Sean with the E flat. Okay, G. All right. In my video, I I talk about it in the key of G. All right. Relative modal playing. Everyone pay attention. Relative modes will give you the feel of the song. They will give you the feel of the emotion of the song, the movement of the song, the color of the song. This is not about scales. It is about chords. In the key of G major, you have 7 chords. Now, those are G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and F sharp diminished or F sharp minor 7 flat 5. We're going to take that minor 7 flat 5, and just put it on the side for a second, because the Lockery mode is very rare. Now, here we go. Check this out. G major, A minor, B minor, C major. Why is my distortion on? I don't know. D major, E minor. We're not going to do the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, okay? No, the Lockery mode is not the best mode, so don't listen to it. The Lockery mode is not the best mode. It is a shitty mode. I said it. Deal with it. It has its moments. It has its moments, but it's not the best mode. Here we go. So, G, all right? A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor. These are the 6 chords we're going to focus around in the harmonized major scale. And what you want to do is you want to understand something, is that these chords go into the key of G. You can start a song on any one of these. Now, this is all relative modal playing. The term relative is, okay, related to the first chord, which chord are we going to start on? So, here's the biggest thing. In the key of G, if I start on the G and I write a song starting and ending on the G, Tom, good to see you. That is known as a G Ionian progression, where the G is home. Ionian meaning the number 1. All right? Now, I hope you're all here. We'll talk about parallel modes. Actually, I guess we're just going to talk about the whole thing. All right? If I started on the A minor, now here's a test. If I start on the A minor, what kind of progression am I going to be playing? Let's see who can nail it down. If I write a song starting on the A minor of the key of G, all right? Okay, now everybody's chanting in here. Everybody's saying Dorian, 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 Dorian. The question is, what letter? If I was saying this is blank Dorian, okay? Dorian, everybody got Dorian. Everybody says, okay, Dorian, 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 I get it, all right? But what Dorian? What blank, blank Dorian? There it is. A Dorian. A Dorian, there you go. That's what, I want the details. I want the details. No, not G. So TTB fans said G, and it's not. It's A Dorian. Because we didn't start on the G. We're in the key of G. It is A Dorian. A Dorian. And make sure you share this video with all the people out there. This is some good stuff. Okay? Now, F sharp low green. All right, so now, here we go. So this would be, if I start something on G major, it's a G Ionian. Sean asked that question in a little bit when I'm done with this. And now A minor, if I start on A minor, it's A Dorian. This is an A Dorian progression. If I start on the B minor, if I start on the 3rd chord, and I make the B minor home, the 3rd chord, what is, yes, I will post this. What is, okay, what is that going to be called? What is that going to be called? If I start on the 3rd note, the B. Oh no, I don't like barring chords at all. I don't say barred chords. That stuff is crap. I don't even understand where barred chords come from. Of course you're going to borrow a chord. Don't get me off subject. We'll talk about barred chords. It's a farce. It's a fucking farce. Okay, so B Phrygian, there we go. Ricky Stewart, pow. And also I see rear delta. Good, awesome. All you guys. B Phrygian, right? So if I have this, like, major in there. B Phrygian. B Phrygian. I will be the Phrygian. All right, so is this making sense so far? These are relative modes. Now, if you watch the rest of my video calling Truly Understanding Modes, got some comedians here. That's funny. If you watch my video, Truly Understanding Modes, you'll see that it's about the starting point. Okay, it's the starting point. Now, we can come back to this. That's relative mode. So if somebody says to me, well, might as well go. Somebody says, hey, you know, I'll skip over Mixolydian because wink, wink, maybe my video next week is about Mixolydian. But if somebody said, hey, this is E Aeolian, okay, Aeolian meaning 6, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian. You know, think of Metallica. That is an E Aeolian progression. Now they do twist some stuff up here. They do a little twisty root. You're allowed to when you talk about all stuff. It's an A Aeolian progression. But let me ask you a question. What key were we in the entire time? Let me drink out of my face. That's right. We're in the key of G the entire time. No, somebody said E. I don't mean to sound offensive. No, everything there was in the key of G. Now, okay. This guy with his F sharp Locrian. I love it. Locrian has its place. We can talk about that. Okay. I don't particularly like modes a lot. To remember the order. Well, you don't have to remember them. You just have to know them, and don't be afraid of them. That's okay. I love the banter. The idea is relative modes are going to give you a sound of the song. So let me show you something. Okay. What major sounds like? Major sounds like happy. I can't answer that question in a second, hold on, okay? So now, that's happy. Dorian, listen, Dorian's great. Dorian is bittersweet, maybe sometimes thunderous if you have like distortion on it, but a very, you know, I won't play it, but Dorian is a bittersweet song. Phrygian can have a flamenco sound if you do it right, like. That doesn't sound flamenco, but it can have an exotic sound, could have a very like mellow sound. Phrygian's very like ambiguous. Lydian has a very peaceful sound. I'm going to show this to you. Let's see, hold on, 4, like come on, 4, 1, 6, 5. So 4, 1, 6. No, sorry, 4, 1, 6, 5. Very like Lydian has a really sweet sound to it, and if you think of Tom Petty's Learn to Fly, that's in F Lydian. Do I have a mnemonic device to remember the modes in order? I do, but I'm not going to say it out loud because it's not appropriate. But you can come up with Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, however you want to do it. I'm not going to say it out loud. All right, so I hope this is making sense. All right, here we go. So, Mixolydian is, thank you, John. It's very nice of you, but I get very distracted when, that's cool, a little chicken with a thumbs up. Okay, I get a little distracted when the donations come in. So thank you. It's unnecessary, but I do very much appreciate it. Very much. Okay. So I'm going to pause here for a second. Oh yeah, that's why I mentioned it, Dave. Yeah, you said flamenco, and yes, I mentioned that, by the way, because of that. So I got you. I'm not gonna be playing stuff. I don't take requests. I just play whatever I want to play. So take no offense. The idea is, Sean, who is here, Sean English. I put Sean English in the ranks of a super Stitch fan, and I know he's watching. He had a question, and I said I would address it. So I'm just gonna chill here. Oh my God, so many texts going on. So many texts. Holy moly. Let's just sit here. Then we're gonna talk about how you're doing. Hey, Sean, what was that question that you just asked? I said I'll come back to it. I forgot what it was, so I knew you were there. Nice. Oh, Jez Bass. Yeah, Jez Bass, you're all over this. You're a super fan too. I see your comments everywhere, so thank you so much for being a fan. And now we have to leave to Google to that mnemonic. Yeah, what's up? Can the first chord be different from the key? That is so crazy that you asked that. The answer is yes. Yes, it can. And so let's talk about, okay, this teeters on music theory and modes. Okay, it just teeters. And so I'll answer the question, was can the first chord be different from the key? Yeah, of course. And the idea is you just saw that, hopefully, okay? So like, yes, I'm in the key of G, and then if I start an A Dorian, well, my first chord is not in the key. And so there are two schools of thoughts. Elizabeth, you are a super fan. That's very nice, okay? And thank you. There's two school of thoughts. And, oh my God, Jess Bass, that's very nice of you. You don't have to do that, okay? There is the school of thought that the first chord is your key, and that is old world bullshit. I'm saying it. It's old world BS, and people are starting to realize that a key is just your major scale, and that's where real music theory is. Like real 100%, no holes in it, locked down, perfect. Okay, and so when Adam Neely says that, my God, Sweet Home Alabama is in the key of D, it is not. I don't give a like what you say. It's not. That's the old world style of music, and you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to really understand. Really try to understand how music theory works if you always base your home chord on the key. Okay, I'm just being serious. But to go a little further, if I have something in the key of G, and I'm just going to show you this, Sean, which is G, C, D, and E minor, there's no reason I can't have an E major in this song, like... is because 3/4 of that song are in the key of G. And so I would still label it in the key signature key of G, and you would have something marking the incidentals or accidentals out of it. Okay, so on to another question. Is it okay if I address parallel modes, or do you want me to keep on so mode progression key, the paramajor scale progression? Yes, you got it exactly. All right, thank you, Kevin. Kevin, another huge super fan. A lot of super fans here. Pabshwa, yeah. All right, borrowed chords. Okay, borrowed chords. What the fuck? Borrowed chords. Now, I have a video, I think, about borrowed chords. I think I made it like under pressure. Maybe I did. That name is such a name. It's just, listen, music, I know you're a fan. Music is simple. It is so simple. It is so simple. You don't have to make it complex. I'm serious. For everyone who watches StichMethod, if you get what I'm saying, you're like, oh, I make it so simple. It's because I use the simpleness of it. Okay, so listen. Everyone says like, okay, borrowed chords from this, but let me tell you something. There's no reason to say it's a borrowed chord. If I have this E major and it's supposed to be an E minor, and I go, okay, I'm D, C, and G. All right, well, this obviously comes from the parallel mode of G minor, which is, really B flat major. No, I like the way the chord sounds. It doesn't do anything, okay? It doesn't do it. I like the way the chord sounds. And so now we have to deal with it. And now we deal with it. It's not perplexing. I would handle soloing over this E major a little bit differently than I would for the rest of the stuff in my key. But to learn how to borrow a chord from a parallel key and all stuff, that is so time-consuming and wasteful. You'll learn what works and what works. Again, I made the idea of like study. You could use chords to get to other keys. For instance, if you use a secondary dominant, right? Just feel like if you just like G, right, and then D, and then A, and then so like G, right, C, D. You're in the key of G, and all of a sudden you want to move to a different key, put the A7 in. It's gonna sound great, And then all of a sudden I'm in the key of D because that's the 5, and you go to the D, and you have a new, I didn't borrow it from the key of D, I didn't borrow it from any place. I like the way it sounded, I moved it to a different key. So I'll stop talking about that. Let's talk about parallel modes, shall we? Parallel modes are very, very important to understand. Let me ask everyone, okay. Let's talk. If you play the minor pentatonic shape, you move it up 2 frets. I don't know. I'll answer that question in a little bit. I really want to stick to modes. Mac John 4, answer this ask that question again in a couple seconds. Here's the deal. What time is it anyway? All right. Hear me out. Parallel modes. For the win. What realm are we in when it comes to parallel modes? What realm? Hey, Matt, you FaceTimed me, and then I called you back, and then, I don't know, I didn't hear from you, okay? I don't know. All right, so what realm? Yeah, what realm are we in when I talk about parallel modes? Sorry, that coffee in my mustache. I have not seen the right answer yet, which shows me out of my depth realm, okay? Now, maybe I'm not using Matt, I'm so glad you love the Reba video. If, oh my God, if relative modes are dealing, it's okay, Amy, stay with me. If relative modes are dealing with chords, then parallel modes are dealing with what? There we go. Don, where are you? Don Anman? Scales. Parallel. When you hear somebody say parallel and then something else, it means scales. Okay, that's it. Okay, scales. What? Yeah. Okay, there's. You might not have seen this in the beginning. There's 2 worlds of modes. There is chords, and there are scales. Relative modes deal with chords. Parallel modes deal with scales. My coffee got cold. I hate that. All right. So now, let's talk about parallel modes. Listen. Okay, here we go. By show of hands, yes, emoji, thumbs up, the middle finger, I don't care what it is. Show me if somebody showed you 5 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 different, like this is the Dorian shape, this is the Ionian shape, this is the Mixolydian shape. Tell me if you paid someone to teach you that. I'll stay here. Right? There we go. They're coming in. I'm just waiting. Okay. No, okay. Nope, nobody did. Yes. Okay, I see yeses. Okay. I hate the sound. I hate the sound of that idea. Nope, okay. So good. Okay, not a lot of you. Yes, I see some yeses. Listen. Parallel modes, you're dealing with scales. Okay, here. Only you have gotten me close. Okay, here we go. So when you're writing a song and you want a certain feel, you use the chords. Okay? And now if you want to think about parallel modes, and now a lot of my fish videos really get into this because Trey really knows how to layer his parallel modes on top of things. So what does the term parallel mean? Now I talk about this, believe it or not, in my Never Lost Live workshop. A lot of us really don't understand what the word parallel means. It means similarities. Like, can you draw a parallel between me and Tom Segura? Is that his name? Like, can you draw a parallel between the color blue and aqua? Parallel means similarities. So your scale has, when we talk about this stuff, you have relative modes in the chords, and then you have parallel modes to deal with, as in, well, what kind of scales can we put on top of these chords? Now, just to show you, anybody name a key again, and it's not going to be G. You know what? Okay, realm, scales is your realm, okay? And so I'll just do it in G again. I don't give a hoot, okay? So here we go. I knew Sean was going to do E flat, but we're not going to do E flat because it's just confusing. All right. No, we're not talking jazz, man. We're not talking jazz. We're just talking the world of parallel modes. Now watch. Here's a G major scale. Here are your notes. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. That's it. Now, if I, ready? Check this out. If I play from G to G in this scale, we get a G Ionian mode. Also known as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, la, da, 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 da. Now, this is going to sound like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I lost my mind. But have any of you been to the Yankee Candle store in Massachusetts, like somewhere near, is it Holyoke or Northampton or Amherst? Anyway, there's a reason I'm saying this. It's a very big Yankee Candle store, and they have little coffee things there, little things of dried coffee for you to sniff and cleanse your palate. And so we're all going to pretend that we just listened to this here. Burlington. It's in Burlington? Okay. Now I'm going to cleanse your palate. Ready? I'm going to sniff that coffee. Now, what happens when I start that G major scale again and I go from A to the A, or 2 to 2? An A Dorian scale? Funny you should say that. Now listen carefully. This is the same exact pattern. It's the same exact everything. Nothing has changed. I'm just going from 2 to 2. A Dorian. That's it. Done. Now, using these, okay, but we'll talk about using them, but now we're in scales. We're in parallel mode, okay? Parallel modes. Parallel modes mode. Now, same scale. Hey, Federico, buddy. Now I'm going to go from 3 to 3. B Phrygian, okay? B Phrygian, that's your scale. Okay, Phrygian. If I go from, parallel modes means same notes but different bass camp. That makes sense. Boom! There it is, okay? Is this an ADD support group? I don't know. It could be. Now, if I go from 4 to 4, okay, I'm going to do a little palate cleansing. All right, now we have 4 to 4. 4. That is C Lydian. So now, I'm just going to show you this stuff. And don't worry, somebody said I'm a little bit over their pay grade, and I get this, but I'll be making a video next week explaining this stuff in great detail. All right, so now, here's the deal. Right there, I started in G major, yes, but you can play a scale, and when you play a scale starting on different notes, you get a different sound. But the question is, well, how do we use these? Now, how do we use these? Well, the funny thing is this, and this is the truth. It's hard. You guys are firing off a lot of questions, and I apologize. I'm just kind of talking to you right now. If I write something against, I'll show you this. If I have a jam, okay? If I have a jam, just a jam, that's one chord, A minor. Here, I'll show you. Okay, now, you have no idea where that A minor came from. You don't. Was it the 2 chord in G? Was it the 6 chord in A? Right? Was it the 3 chord in F? Ooh, Stitch is talking crazy now. The idea is that thing stands by itself. And many bands just kind of sit there and do a song, like, and they'll be like, and then all of a sudden, right? Boom. And this is the jam now. Well, you as a guitar player can say, well, all right, I'm explaining this to you, okay? Modes 1, 4, and 5 are major, okay? 1, 4, and 5. Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian are major modes. Any way you cut it. Whether you're talking about relative modes or whether you're talking about parallel modes. Modes 2, 3, and 6 are minors. All right, 2 Dorian, 3 Phrygian, and 6 Aeolian. And those are minor sounding modes. So I have an A minor. So the idea is and now Sean Daniel and I have a video, I think, on my channel or his channel, maybe my channel, called Super Modes, right? And you can check that out. And you can check out my Mixolydian versus Dorian video. You can check out my sand video for fish. Okay, so here's the deal, is I have this minor chord. Now it's like, okay, great. I can put in my Dorian scale. Ooh. Sorry. Are these the same notes as a major scale? Yeah, this is just a G major scale. Okay, I can play Aeolian minor, the full minor scale, which is just another mode. It's the 6th mode of C major. So you can find, and this stuff is like, oh God, but I'm letting you know something, and I can sit and do this all night. The idea is this, is parallel modes refer to scales. Relative modes refer to your chord progression. If you just sit and watch my Understanding Modes video, I talk about this, all right? Parallel modes are harder to handle because the idea is, well, just to be honest, when you're playing a mode, you're playing a major scale. That is it. That's the biggest lesson from this whole thing. When you're playing a modal scale, you're just playing a major scale. You happen to be starting on a different gear. The end. Now look, here we go. Do I have you on Instagram? I don't know. I suck at all the social media stuff. I'm going to stop talking. I don't want to go off a ramp here. I'll take a look. I'll take a look at some other questions that come in, but then we're just going to talk about how you guys are feeling, what I can do. Ask me questions. You know what? Ask me questions about life, and I'll answer some questions with some funny stories. I love Mixolydian. Well, then you're going to love next week. I like that description of the gearing. Yes, and that's what it is. A mode is just you're putting your scale into gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5. But the idea is, and that's what I want to say, the parallel. Okay, the parallel. Before we go, you have your relative modal playing, and then you have whatever. If you have something that's in B Phrygian, your scale choice has to start on a B, and it has to be a parallel scale. Usually it's going to be B Phrygian. If I'm an A Dorian, you're going to have to start your scale on an A and then draw what your parallel is. Okay? So if you're an A Dorian, you're likely going to have to choose an A Dorian scale. If you want to choose F around with an A Mixolydian, you're going to hear some things might clash, but the idea is this, is that relative modal scales are in your chords, and then you have to draw your parallel scale to match the sound of it. Okay? I'll stop talking. Let's see what we got here. All right. Some dudes think playing scales and modes is music, but it's not to me. No, if you're just a modal scale player, like Jimmy Florida just wrote, some dudes think playing scales and modes is music. It's not. If you're just thinking about parallel modes, it is not music. If you're thinking about how relative modes and parallel modes blend together, that is music. I don't know if I had a clue about these modes without your videos. They were way over my head just last year. Thanks a ton. Love that Lydian sound. Okay, now let me explain something here. Ricky Stewart, okay, who just chimed in, he put on my Facebook Jammer page him jamming to my most recent, jamming to Reba, which was my most recent fish video. And let me tell you, now, Ricky, this is not going to sound like a compliment, but it's a fucking compliment. You sounded so unique, and you sounded so good, to the point where my wife from across the room said, "What are you listening to?" And I said, "Oh, this guy jamming on Reba." And she's like, "Oh, it sounds good." And you had your own flow, and I think the most important gift that anyone can give themselves is developing your own flow on the instrument. You know, I've gotten comments like, "Dude, you don't sound like Trey." I don't want to sound like Trey. "Dude, you don't sound exactly like Jerry." I don't want to sound exactly like Jerry. I like playing like me, right? Be yourself. And so the idea is, Ricky, just man, oh man, it was awesome. All right. Do you even drop out of theory mindset and let it go, or always analyzing the jam? No, I mean, you can analyze the jam from right away, and then you can kind of loosen up if you want to. You know, you're not always doing it. Once you get a good grounding in it, once you get a very good grounding of the song, you can become more looser, okay? More looser. Am I married? What do you think this is? It's like a harmonic minor. What is that scale? That's a minor scale with the raised 7th degree. And if you watch my Black Magic Woman video, Dave, you're going to you're going to see it in action. I have a big problem with the harmonic minor scale. It's such a unique sounding scale. Like, it's so unique sounding. Like, you don't hear it a lot. It has one track the sound, but there's a reason that people focus on it, and it's for the wrong reason, but I discussed that in my Black Magic Woman video. Just to let you know, okay? All right, so what about using a Dorian Bach shape on a G chord or Aeolian Bach shape on a G chord? I don't understand that question. I would answer that. What about using a Dorian Bach shape on a G chord or an Aeolian Bach shape on a G chord? Well, yeah, you could. Actually, you can. Okay, are you saying just like, can you put Dorian on top of a G major and Aeolian on top of G? Yeah, of course you can. You just have to listen to how it sounds. Do you have a degree in music? No, I do not have a degree in music. I just had a moment of divine intervention, and that was it. Okay, Circles Around the Sun, new album. I've listened to it. I think it's pretty strong. You know, I miss Neil. You know, I miss Neil's. I mean, I don't. You want to talk about Circles in the Sun? You know, they're a terrific band. And it was Neil's guitar playing that drew me to the band. And it's like how a lot of people say, like, you know, the Grateful Dead died when Jerry, you know, died. And to me, the Circles Around the Sun didn't die. They're going strong. I think their album is strong. It's just, you know, Neil's playing in 2015 really inspired this channel, you know, and so, you know, without Neil, it's hard for me to manufacture that awe I had. So, you know, it sucks. Is the art on the wall made by your kids? No. No, these are all just random things. One little thing is, but, oh wait, this is, yeah, that was made by my daughter, and she wanted to have a presence there. And the rest is just, that was up here, the orange one I found at a store, I liked it. Anyways, all right, let's get back to some questions. Buddy, help with some Touch of Grey tune. I can do an In the Mind of Jerry for Touch of Grey. It's a really good study of just like chord tones and dancing around the scales. Would using multiple modes and a progression change the sound too much? You mean parallel modes? Yes. Yes. If you, yeah, I mean, it will. You know, here's an A minor, and you can choose like Dorian. And then if I choose Aeolian, Phrygian, and so you got to really like do it wisely. Like here's Dorian. Right now, if I want to switch, I got to come off the root note. And then after I hit a root, maybe some Phrygian. You know, so the idea is you have to choose it wisely. All right, hello everyone. You guys having fun? Is everybody having fun here? All right, so let's talk. Okay, tips on diminished stuff. I have a video on diminished stuff. Brown Eyed Woman. I have a video on Bertha. I will be doing something on Brown Eyed Women. Melodic or harmonic minor scales. I just answered that question. I haven't. I mean, okay. I don't. I don't really listen to a ton of music. I listen to like 3 or 4 things. And in my tunnel vision music, I don't hear a lot of the harmonic minor, melodic minor stuff. That it might be like 1%. So how does switching modes things work? Well, it's hard. You got to have one stagnant chord, like a jam, like just one chord, boom, boom, ba, 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 boom, boom, ba, ba, just one chord, and then you pick your parallel modes, your similar modes, and see if you can intertwine them. The best way to do it would be just kind of like play your scale, land on the root note, and then mentally switch gears and introduce a new flavor. That's it. All right, I want life questions. I want life questions at this point. Okay, you're familiar with the Guitar Grimoire book? Yeah, I just threw my Guitar Grimoire book out. Just to let you know. That's what I think of them. I think that's like, I don't know, like 18th century guitar alchemy, and it's just it makes you look like there's a hidden code in there, and it's like, I can't. I have a tattoo here. I don't know if you can see it, it's really blurry. Whoa! I have a tattoo here. I also have a tattoo here, right there, and I have a tattoo on my back. Anyone freaked out about the virus, gigs, and live music? Yeah, man, that's a serious deal. You know, I'm supposed to go to Swanee Rising, and they haven't canceled yet. And I'm like, okay, let's see what happens, but we'll see. I'm still planning my trip. I'm still planning the trip. We're actively getting everything ready to do the trip. Hello from Spain. Hello from Florida. um, yeah, I don't know. Everything is just up in the air. You know, we're just hunkering down, and you're hearing from Florida kind of knows what to do because of hurricanes. Yeah, we hunker down. Yeah, I'll be safe. I had to go out. I wore my gloves, and just let you know, like for anyone, I'm being serious. For anyone who's like, oh, it's just a flu and whatever. No, take care of yourself, okay? Everyone here I like to see is smart. I like to say is smart because you're watching my channel. You guys homeschooling the kids or during the trip? Well, we're debating between doing homeschool, which we have done. My wife, she's the genius mastermind. She's done it earlier, but also we'll have the opportunity to do like Florida virtual school, like just from computers. Do I have extra time during this virus? If so, learning anything new with extra time? As said, as said in my earlier live feed, I think 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. Maybe it was yesterday. I like to watch planes and take naps with my free time, so I have a lot of free time right now. I want virtual lessons. Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I know everybody does want virtual lessons, and there's a ton of people on the wait list. I mean, a lot of people on my wait list. No joke. And so I have to go. I do have some openings. I'll be reaching out tonight and being like, hey, I have some openings. So anyway, so that's that. So the end. I can't even tell you how much I'm enjoying this stream. It has answered so many questions for me. Truly appreciate it. I'm glad to hear that, Martin. Another super fan. It's just the flu. See, let's compare stats with the flu. We'll compare stats when this whole thing is over. That's no problem. Will it turn into a dystopian reality where it becomes savage and Darwin? I don't know. But what's really crazy is Russell Brand had a really interesting take on it. If you saw his live stream, and what is going on in my chair? It's like wobbling. It's loose. Hold on. Let me just not too low. Hold on. There we go. So the idea is, people freak the F out. They're freaking out. And you're allowed to freak out. You can freak out because it's freaky. But, hold it together, man. Just hold it together. You'll be fine. Sorry, I got to adjust my chair. This is all crazy here. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. All right. So, let's see. That's pretty much it. I'll sit here and answer questions. We have running water and electricity. How many guitars do I own? Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 8, 9, 10, like 15? 15? I don't have a ton. So, I don't think that's a lot. Let's see. If I don't have a coronavirus, do you memorize solos? I used to memorize solos, but like I'm all about the guitar freedom of oh, hey, David. Oh, hey. That's very nice of you, David. Thank you very much. I just enjoy being as free as possible. And so I don't really like to memorize solos unless, I don't know. I just don't like to memorize solos because I used to. And then I said, well, sorry, I've already said it. Why is this happening? And I kind of studied it myself. You have that Grateful Dead vibe. Oh, cool. I appreciate that. Know any about Olin Duck guitars? No. I've seen pictures. I'm sure they're fine. How are the Fred guitars holding up? The Fred guitars are holding up. I can see two of them sitting right there. One of them does have. Well, I mean, you guys know that here. I'm sure you've seen it. Hold on. Stay here. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. So this guitar. All right. Anybody know? I mean, some of you do know, some of you don't. But anybody know? This is a Fred guitar. Okay. Anybody know what's on the other side of this headstock right here? Anybody know what's on the other side of this logo right here? All right. Anybody know? Let's see. Let's figure it out. Yeah, this is a Fred guitar. Yes. See, Sean remembers. I have on this guitar Mr. Trey Anastasio's signature because I met Trey and I have a video about it. And that right there will make this guitar a part of my life forever. And so he got to kind of strum it and he played it and he signed it, and that's Trey's autograph right there. And so This guitar, I mean, like I love playing it, but this this guitar here, really, I have to put this in a glass box. Yeah, you know, I was wondering how to take care of it, but I'm just gonna leave it as it is. It's written in paint marker and it's not gonna go anywhere. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this down. Okay, stay right there. Don't move a muscle. All right. So what did everybody eat today? Let's just talk. We can talk. We can ask music questions, but I also want to talk about life. I think part of StichMethod is about dealing with life. Okay. I have a Paul Reed Smith autograph on my PRS. That's great. I got my I love my PRS too. You taught me enough to meander on the guitar. That's good. Meandering is fun. Meandering with focus is like intent, and that's good. The guitar tickles your papaya and pineapple. That's nice. That's nice. You're 60 now. It's great. I'm just going through all the comments now. What do you do when you're not feeling particularly creative? I don't do anything, right? I mean, like, listen, man. If you watch, oh my God, Tenacious D. Rule number 1 is you cannot manufacture inspirato. All right, and so I don't force it, man. You know, I just don't force it. And so if I don't do anything, pardon me, I'm getting all these notifications. If I'm not feeling creative, I just don't do anything. Oh my God, Buzz! Somebody sent me a link. Buzz, thank you for a coffee warmer. That's nice. Have you taken lessons? When I was younger, when I got my first guitar around 12, I took lessons at Cornet Music in Smithtown, New York, with a guy named Claude, who was really cool. He reminded me of like this, like oh my God, like Mick Jagger, but like he wore a scarf. And he might have smoked because he always just kind of sat like this without a cigarette in his hand. And he was a nice guy, and we just kind of learned songs. And then I met another guitar teacher, Steve. I don't know his last name, but Steve was really cool. Steve was a cool dude. And that only lasted until I was like maybe 13. Anyway, and then after that, it was just me and my friends and learning tabs and all that fun stuff. And then, like I said, I had a huge moment of divine intervention. Is the last thing I can talk about it. And then I was like, oh, this is how guitar works. Let me share it with the masses. Oh, hey, Stitch. Wait, I remember this. Hey, Stitch, met you in downtown Disney. We talked briefly. Huge fan. Can't wait for Roy Gallagher lesson. Yes, I remember. It was at the Magic Kingdom, right? And yeah, we were down like the main street at the corner. I remember meeting you, and that's awesome. And that was like when I first started, I believe. Is that? And so that was really cool. Let's see. I grew up with Del Refer, who was an Elvis clone. That's cool. Small world. Eastman Guitars is coming out with a Trainastasia model. Yeah, I saw that. It is a small world after all. Favorite acoustic? Ooh. Well, you know, right now, I can, Vico, in a couple of seconds. You know, I only have 2 acoustics. I have my Taylor acoustic, which I love, and I have my Craster acoustic, which I love as well. And the idea is both of them have the Taylor acoustic is Taylor sounding, and the Craster acoustic definitely has like a Martin sound to it. So I really do like them. Any chance of an 11 lesson? Yeah, if I get around to it. Dude, you played horn and never was set free. Wait, dude, you played horn and never was set free. I don't understand that. What's your favorite track off the new Tool album? Ricky, don't hate me. I didn't really like the new Tool album. I listened to it a lot, but I'm just one picky mofo, and so I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm letting you down here. Breed loves are great. Many of my students have breed loves, and I always get them. Tell us about the ego death stitch. Ooh, I don't know what that means, but it sounds nice. What does that mean? The ego death. That's good. Yeah, the 800 series. Oh my God. So I'll tell you. I was in a music store, and there was a Taylor, and it was like an 814. I was like, oh, and I picked it up and like just touched it, and it was like, "Bah!" And I was like, oh my God, maybe I should get this. And I think the price tag was like $4,200, and I was like, and I'm not gonna get it. But it was a spectacular guitar. Thoughts on death metal? I don't really listen to it, so I can't really give you the thoughts on it. And maybe that's my thought. Like, I don't listen to it. You know, Who speaks? I don't know. Somebody mentioned. Tell us about the ego death of Stitch. I don't know. Have you owned an Ibanez? No. I do a duet with David Salam. Okay, I don't know him. Okay, I have a seagull. Seagulls are very good too. Opposite from the tonality. Sounds great. Let's see. I'm just kind of like reading through your stuff now. Yeah, I mean, no, you guys are all set. Somebody asked you to talk about the tonal quality of modes or something, and I forgot what it was. So post it again. Do you ever play a baritone guitar? I played one before. It was actually really interesting because it was just lower and had a really cool sound, unique. I really did like it. Neighbor was meander, but 4 is going to pick up the guitar now. Oh, cool, William. That's a cool statement. I'm with Ricky. I don't know what Ricky said. I second the divine intervention talk. You guys don't know my divine intervention story? Come on. There's 190 of you here. Okay, tell me. Okay, I'll tell you the divine intervention story. I mean, I feel like I say it all the time in StichMethod, and everybody's like just sick of it. But if you want to hear it, just give me a thumbs up, or I want to hear it. And so we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Blinded lights. What symptoms? I got a little more. He saw the price and he said, "Oh, after all, I don't like them." No, I mean, like, you're like, okay, it's a $4,000 guitar. Fill in the blanks. I was not dosed. I wasn't dosed. Okay, you want to? I'll say it. All right, I'll say it. Okay, fine. Wow. I feel like I always tell the story. Okay. Picture it. Sicily, 1927. Just kidding. That was a Golden Girls reference. Sorry. I'm sure 2 of you got that, but that was great. Sorry. All right, here we go. All right, I don't know if they're saying don't say it, but here we go. I'll tell you my divine intervention story, and for everyone who's heard it, you can just sign off and then come back in like 10 minutes. Here we go. All right, so in 2009, when Fish got back together, I had at that point been playing guitar since 1992, so 2002, 10 years, 17 years or so, something like that. And I was getting really like pissed at the fact that like I loved Trey's playing. It was so colorful, so different, and I couldn't understand what he was doing. Now, I gotta say this, I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and at this point I could understand what Jimmy Page was doing a little bit more. I saw the pentatonic natures, I saw the scales, but in Trey's lines, in Trey's compositions, from It's Ice to You Enjoy Myself, all stuff, like, I couldn't understand it. And I was at a Fish show in 2009 when they got back together, right? And I was in Tennessee, and I was with my wife, I was with my friend Brian, I think it was his birthday weekend, and I really like sat there and I couldn't enjoy the show as much as I wanted to because I was getting pissed. Like, I was like, how come I can't understand 0.0001% of what this guy is doing, you know? And the music has brought me such beauty, but in my life, but I couldn't understand what the heck he was doing, and I just couldn't understand it. And then they took a step break, and I remember in I'm gonna screw this up like hardcore. So pardon me, I'm definitely gonna screw this up. Let me see something. So they come back, and I'm gonna screw it up, but they come back and they open up with this. Waves, right? And they're playing, and Trey starts to take the solo, and he's like, let's see, he's like, you know, and he's just gently playing, and it's that note, this thing. And I remember being there, and I remember like being like, that note. Like, and I remember saying that note, like, what? Why that note? Why that note? And it's like, and it cuts through the air. It just hits you, and you're like, it was so right. What is he doing? And I got really pissed. And so I back in those days, after a Fish concert, on the ticket you got a code to download the show from Live Fish. So I went home, and I was sitting on the edge of my bed with my Les Paul, which I don't know where it is, And no, actually no, not my Les Paul, with my my PRS. And and I put that on. I put it on, and I was like, okay, I want to go listen to that moment. I want to go back to that second set opener, and I want to hear that moment. I want to figure out what he's doing. And so they were playing it, and also the moment came, and I paused it, and I was like, what note is that? I was like, okay, that's it. That's the note. And I was like, that's a D chord. I mean, I'm like, that's a D note. I'm like, why? I borrowed it. So why was it a D? And I was sitting there going like, why the hell is it a D that's so spectacular? And then something in my brain said, hey, go look at that chord. So I look at the chord, and I was playing along, and then all of a sudden, he hit a D chord. Now, this is my moment of divine intervention. And so the idea here is, all of a sudden, like, my brain started going, okay, D chord, D note, D chord, D note. And if you heard this before, I apologize, but this is the truth. All of a sudden, like, let me show you. This is what it felt like. This is what it felt like. I'm not kidding. Okay? It felt like a bright light, like right here. And it was like, and I'm saying like D chord, D note, and it was like, boom. And the next thing I know, like, I'm being very serious. The next thing I know, I just kind of like open my eyes, and my wife's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? And she's like, because you just kind of stopped playing and you're drooling on your guitar. And I looked down, sure enough, like, just a puddle of drool. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I understand how music works. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know what happened, but I figured the whole thing out. And I rewound the song. I rewound it. Now, I don't have the right guitar for the sound, but I rewound it, and like, and I sat, let's see. And I was like, and I was literally just like hitting every note that Trey was hitting at that time. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, I figured it out. And then I said, I got to start teaching this way. And then from that moment on, I just started teaching pretty much a StichMethod, but like in person. And no, I was not on shrooms. Stop the shroom talk. I was on shrooms. And, and that was it. So that's my moment of divine intervention. I hope that helped out. I don't know. What time is it? Okay, so give me 1 second. I got to see if I'm on for my 8:30 lesson. You guys enjoying this? You guys, I'll answer any questions. Okay. No, we're good. We're good. And so that's what happened. And then I started like understanding why music is working, and I'm bringing it to you, you know. But there's a lot to it. It's not. I mean, I was surprised that it was just like, because it's not linear. Music's not linear. It's circular. It moves. Theories can be taught about in so many different ways, but the way I saw it made total sense. And so that's that. What made sense all of a sudden? I can't even tell you just how music worked. I saw the whole matrix just went like boom, big bang, and that was it. Okay, so how's the RV coming? RV's actually coming along really, really well. It's pretty much done. We renovated the heck out of it, and it's pretty much done. We're ready to get on the road. So look at this. This is a oh. Yeah, my Blues Masterclass Part 2 is 50% off, blah, 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 right now until March 22nd. That's it. That's my promotion. But Ricky's like, oh, haha, sounds exactly what happened to me when I went through your Blues Masterclass. That's what reminded me. Thank you, Ricky. That's great. When you were switching modes over the fly over A minor, were you thinking about different patterns for each mode, or were you visualizing the same major scale pattern? Well, Kevin, you know, that's a loaded question, because I happen to know each pattern's shape, and I happen to know also what the major scale is that I'm playing. But to answer your question, it was a little bit of both. I wish that I So wait, who'd you meet? Mark, did we meet? Sorry, man. So divine intervention. I call it divine intervention. So here we go. Yeah, man. You don't necessarily need shrooms to trip. I guess you don't. Your moment was your Mixodorian lesson. Different player now. Oh, that's awesome to hear, Rick. Yeah, the Mixodorian. I'm glad you like that lesson. It just shows you. And that the Mixodorian. Which one? Where was it? Yes, the Mixodorian shows you that you can choose your kind of scale of voicings or your scale sounds in the middle of this giant scale. It's not just one big. It's all these different scales kind of click together. So, hey, when are you planning on leaving for your trip? Is the current situation a factor yet? Yes, the current situation is a factor, but we're still planning on a go. I mean, but don't get me wrong, we're ready to go. Okay, we're ready to go. I just literally need to hand the keys to this house to someone else, and then I go. And so it's an idea, and we'll see what happens. We're gonna play it by ear. What? Wait, who? How did what? Oh, is that my daughter? Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. I think my daughter somehow logged on to one of my devices, and then, yes. That's so funny. Now, guys, I gotta watch my language. No kidding. I'm kidding. And my wife's watching too. This is fantastic. The link to the Blues Masterclass is not working here. If you go to StichMethod.com, you can click on Masterclasses. You will see that Masterclass Part 2 is on sale right now. Yeah, we'll do that. I hate talking promotions. I don't know why. It's like I want people to enjoy the class. I don't want to force it down their throat. I made it half price for 5. I can't do the time frame. It is for 5 days because I want people to enjoy it. But I'm not going to be like, go get it now. It's going to blow your mind. You know, whatever. I like the video showing how the lead goes from lower parts of the fretboard up to the higher parts of the fretboard. Is that the Never Lost? Also, I think if you like the blues, my building tension in the blues video is very, very underrated. Yes, Beach Boys were awesome. Do you ever play modes through the Cage system, Stitch? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The Masterclass link isn't working. Come on. All right, hold on. We're having such a good time, and then somebody's got to point out that StichMethod.com. Huh. What? StichMethod's not working? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Masterclass link, Masterclasses. Yeah, it's working. Boom, it's working. I'm just doing it right now. Let's see. Yeah, doing it right now. Bam. Oh, wait a second. Are there links to my videos? This link. Yeah, if you go to StichMethod.com, okay? Okay, here we go. Can that someone be me? I don't want to be me. A Cage system and pentatonic boxes help me with my lead, but you got to keep on it. You do have to keep on it. Let's see. Yep, Never Lost is a game changer for me. Yeah, Never Lost you put in perspective. Like, it's all the same notes over and over again. Oh, the Bitly link isn't working? Really? Just go to StichMethod.com. God damn it, I gotta tell my guy to change it. I'm sorry about that. All right, so can you give a quick question primer on how to use the altered scale? No, okay, so the altered scale is what you're gonna find in jazz, and you're gonna find it over like dominant chords or altered chords. And the idea is, I mean, it's pretty much potato. You know, if you have a dominant chord or an altered chord, you can throw your altered scale on top of it. But that's in Jazzville, and that's not my my wheelhouse. I can talk about it, but I don't like pushing into the jazz village because, you know, jazz. Okay, like jazz, and I'm being serious. Jazz is but jazz is confusing, right? But like when you think about jazz, not players, but jazz listeners, we can call them, and it's okay. Like I'm not making fun, but like intellectual music aficionados, right? Like I love jazz, and jazz. A lot of people intellectualize it, but the idea is also the mind of a jazz player is freaky, and you gotta have your foundations in place. And StichMethod is about the foundational process. People. Oh, the sharps and move flats back a tiny bit of effort without being spoon-fed. I don't like that, Rich. I think that's not true. That's not true. Obviously, you're here, and you watch it. Okay. Do you use the Cage method and change the root with each chord? I don't know what that means, but yes, because I will say I understand it kind of. Okay. What about jazz hands? Jazz hands? Oh, I can't even do it. I have pick. How good do you have to be to attend a Never Lost Live workshop? You just need to be able to play some bar chords and some scales. The rest I'll take care of. I promise you that. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna get going. I mean, you guys are here, and we're curing boredom, right? We're just curing some boredom. That's what we gotta do. It's crazy. Who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow? Who knows? The next Never Lost Live workshop is still on for now, but I'm every day assessing what's happening because it's in late May. As that window starts to close, we'll see what happens, but it's on for now. So, you know, that's that. Oh, yeah, no, I hear you, Rich. I still love you, buddy. Please explain how to apply the Lydian mode harmonically. Chord progressions. No using melodically with a vamp, please. Okay, so like, all right, Lydian. Okay, so the chord progressions. Okay, well, the chord progressions. You start on the 4. Here is a Lydian chord progression. It is literally learning to fly. I hope this made sense. I talked about this earlier. it starts on the 4 chord. In the key of C, you have C is 1, D minor is 2, hello, E minor is 3, and F is 4. So you just start on the 4. And it's 4, 1, 6, 5. Now, okay, so do you put a sharp 11? Now we're getting crazy here. Okay, so he says, do you put a sharp 11 in the chord? Yeah, well, the idea is, okay, let's see if I can do this in one breath. When you take a major scale and you start it on the number 4, the intervals become now 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, and 7. The chords that you can put on top of it, I can't because that's my last breath, but you can put a sharp 4 in your chord to help it glue to the Lydian scale. I kind of took a mini breath there. So yeah, you can do that, all right? You can do that. But what if I want a Lydian progression that is only Lydian? I just showed you, that's it. You start on the 4. You start on the 4, okay? So here, okay, what if you want, okay, so in the key of G, you have G is your 1, A minor is your 2, B minor is your 3, 4, C. Just start on the 4. Don't think about, we're in relative modes, we're in chords. That's it. That is literally a Lydian chord progression. The end. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh, dude, one of my students has a Steinberg, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's an awesome guitar. And it's got those curved frets to get, yeah. Steinberg guitar is really cool. All right, anything else? Anything else? I'll sit here all night. Okay. If I missed your questions, I apologize. Somebody like, oh my God, somebody's like, dude, you missed this one guy's question because you were eating marshmallows. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was eating marshmallows, and I wish I can get to all of your questions, but at the same time, I just want to sit and talk. So if I don't answer your question, it's not like I hate you, right? Come on now. Ian, the masterclass is working, dude. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Which masterclass? The blues masterclass? How would you recommend practice the thumb over top technique? I can't get my high strings to ring out when I try to fret the bass note with my thumb. Well, I don't really do that because, like, this thumb hates me. And lately, like, it's like, ow, ow, ow. I've never done the thumb over technique. And if I do, you got to really grab it. First, you want to grab it first with your thumb. And then, oh, see, I can't. It hurts, man. This thumb hates me. Yeah, you know, Hendrix had large hands and large thumbs, so, like, you know, I'd say, whatever. But I don't really do the thumb over technique. Okay, thanks, man. Super fun. Yeah, I'm going to get going. You guys are all awesome, and hopefully this helped break up the stress. Now, I know that Ed here, really quickly, Ed here is in Canada. And Ed, my daughter's like, marshmallows? Yeah, we have marshmallows. He's in Canada, and I want to ask, Ed, how's everything in Canada? How's everything in Canada? What's it? Oh, hold on. No. Oh, hold on. There it is. Yeah, that's a great song. Good song. So Steinberg or Strandberg? Oh, I don't know. Maybe Strandberg. Less crazy, still surreal. Good. All right, guys. De-stress. Take a break. Hug your loved ones virtually over FaceTime or Skype. Say hello. And that's that. But all right, guys. I'm gonna go. Hopefully, I helped out somewhat. You know, I'll be here as much as often as I can. And that's pretty much it. But a little secret. I have a little since Paradise near. What? Our little secret. I have a little slice of paradise near the most awesome springs in the world. Come see me this summer. All right, Jimmy, Florida. Give me an email. Might do it. All right, guys. All of you, stay awesome. Thank you so much. I hope I helped somebody out. Yeah, do wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Touch your guitar, and then put your guitar on your face. All right. You guys rock. I'm out of here. Gotta have some vegan marshmallows now. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.